Before there were forests, before there were oceans, the earth was nothing but fire, a quiet sphere of molten light turning slowly in the dark. From that heat came everything we now call home. The air we breathe, the ground we walk on, the calm beneath our feet. Tonight, we return to that beginning, not to feel fear, but to feel peace. For even in its fiercest moments, the planet has always moved with grace. Volcanoes are its slow exhalations, the lungs through which it creates, renews, and rests. Beneath every mountain lies a rhythm, steady as breath, ancient as time itself. As you listen, imagine drifting deeper into the planet's memory. Hear magma move like blood through stone. Picture continents shifting in their sleep, their edges softened by oceans and wind. Every tremor, every glow is not destruction. It's the earth remembering how to dream. The world is alive beneath your quiet room. While you breathe, it breathes too. Patient, constant, endlessly kind. Each fact, each image will unfold like a heartbeat, gentle, grounding, eternal. Let your thoughts slow to match the planet's pace. Feel its warmth under the surface, steady and familiar. There is no rush here, no danger, no noise. Only the soft murmur of creation still happening beneath you. This is your invitation to rest within wonder, to fall asleep to the rhythm of volcanoes, to the story of fire turned to peace. And as we begin, remember, every mountain once flowed, every stone once glowed, and every breath you take carries the quiet heat of a world still dreaming. Beneath the quiet crust, the planet moves with a rhythm older than breath. Magma drifts in unseen chambers, a slow circulation of warmth that keeps the world alive. It rises and falls like a heartbeat, carrying the memory of ancient fire. Every tremor, every sigh of stone reminds us that the earth is not still, it is breathing. Deep below, molten rivers flow with patience, reshaping continents grain by grain. In that steady motion lies balance, not chaos. And as we listen, we can almost hear it, the pulse of creation echoing softly through rock and time. The planet inhales, the planet exhales, and in its warmth, we find our calm. Far beneath our feet, a quiet furnace glows. It is the leftover warmth of birth, the same fire that once formed oceans and sky. Pressure gathers where the core hums, where iron swirls and light once hid. This deep heat is not anger, it is endurance, the gentle promise that life will continue. Through miles of stone, that warmth seeps upward, melting, renewing, reminding. We walk upon a thin shell of cooled time, yet below everything still moves, still dreams. The heart of the planet burns slowly, endlessly, a whisper rather than a roar. And as we rest above its surface, we share its patience, steady, radiant, ancient as comfort itself. Beneath the oceans and mountains, the ground drifts with the softness of clouds. The continents, those vast and silent rafts of stone, glide over a sea of molten motion. We do not feel their journey, yet they are always moving, slow, graceful, unhurried. Over millions of years, they dance apart and return, forming valleys, raising peaks, stitching the world together again. These invisible movements shape the face of Earth like the breath of time itself. In the stillness of night, when everything above seems unmoving, the ground below whispers its quiet voyage. What we call solid is gently flowing, like thought or memory. And as we sleep, the planet keeps shifting, dreaming its endless, unseen dream. Deep within the mantle, rivers of fire move as calmly as tides. They never rush, never rest, carrying heat from the heart outward in glowing silence. These flows carve no valleys, yet they sculpt the continents above. Their motion is too vast, too patient to see. Each drop of molten rock joins an ancient current, looping endlessly in the dark. It is a river of creation, of renewal, where stone behaves like water and time drips like honey. To imagine it is to feel the planet breathing from within, exhaling warmth into its bones. Down there, beneath every mountain and shore, the earth's secret rivers run forever, slow, luminous, and tender as sleep itself. Far below the calm sway of waves, mountains rise unseen. Volcanoes bloom in silence beneath the sea, building islands grain by grain, as if the planet were weaving dreams from fire. Lava spills slowly from hidden vents, hardening into ridges that stretch for thousands of miles. No storm disturbs them there, only the eternal hush of deep water and the glow of molten light. Creatures drift above, unaware of the newborn land growing below their fins. Each bubble of magma cools into future continents. Each shimmer of heat becomes tomorrow's ground. In this quiet creation, the earth writes new chapters without sound, and somewhere between the sea's weight and the planet's heart, the world continues to grow, softly, endlessly. Sometimes the earth trembles, not in rage, but in renewal. A faint vibration passes through the crust, reminding all living things that the planet is alive. Beneath forests and cities, the rocks shift, making space for new strength. It is as if the earth stretches in its sleep, settling into comfort after long stillness. These tremors, though they may startle, are part of its rhythm, a soft resetting of balance. After the movement fades, the silence deepens. The air seems clearer, as though the planet has sighed. Every quake, no matter how small, is a whisper of transformation. The ground stills, the heart of earth slows again, and all returns to calm, renewed, patient, unbroken. Stone does not hurry. It listens to time as it passes, changing shape only through centuries of quiet persistence. Mountains erode grain by grain, yet they never mourn their height. They understand endurance. In every pebble lies the story of pressure, heat, and calm. Surrender. What seems cold or lifeless is, in truth, the earth remembering. A boulder resting by a river may once have glowed red beneath the surface, part of a molten sea. Now it cools in sunlight. Content to simply exist, stone teaches us to slow down, to find peace in staying. Even when broken, it endures, finding new forms, new meanings. In the patience of stone, the planet reminds us all change is gentle when seen through time. If we could listen closely enough, we'd hear the earth sing. Low notes rise through the crust, vibrations so deep they blend with silence. The planet hums softly, an endless chord created by waves, winds, and distant quakes. This music has no composer, no beginning, no end. Scientists have captured it, faint oscillations, rhythmic and slow, yet the melody feels ancient, older than memory itself. The sound of magma shifting, oceans pressing, air moving through forests, all become one song. It is the soundtrack of existence, the tone beneath all life. When we pause, when we breathe, we join that harmony for a moment. The hidden music continues beneath us, patient and eternal. Playing softly beneath our dreams, we live upon the thinnest layer of a vast living world. Beneath our feet lies the warmth of beginnings, the quiet strength of fire turned to stone. Each step we take rests upon stories millions of years old, the rise and fall of continents, the drifting of oceans, the slow breath of the mantle below. Yet here we are, fragile and brief, carried by the patience of Earth itself. Mountains stand as guardians, valleys cradle our towns, and every rock, every grain of sand holds memory. To know this is to feel smaller, but safer, too. We are guests of a planet that never stops caring for itself. As we rest upon its surface, we share in its steady, ancient calm. At the end of all motion, there is stillness, the quiet faith that the earth knows its rhythm. It does not rush the tides nor fear the fire. It simply continues, breathing through eons of change. To rest upon this planet is to be held by constancy itself. The same gravity that shaped mountains also cradles us in sleep. The ground below, though unseen, is steadfast, humming softly through the night. We can let go, knowing that while we dream, the world turns, the core glows, and life continues. The earth keeps its promise of warmth and balance, and as we drift into quiet thought, we trust completely in the calm beneath us, the pulse of home still beating slow and sure. Long before oceans cooled or forests grew, the earth was molten light, a sphere of flame suspended in darkness. Every mountain, every grain of soil was once part of that early fire. The planet glowed with its own sunrise, reshaping itself in waves of heat and patience. As the surface hardened, the fire retreated inward, learning to breathe through vents and fissures. Volcanoes became its quiet storytellers, bursts of memory breaking through stone. Each eruption whispered of that ancient beginning, reminding the surface of its origin. Even now, when lava spills across new land, it carries that same ancient flame, unbroken through time. To watch it is to witness the earth remembering how it was born and how it still creates. Deep below, where pressure folds the world into silence, magma flows like time itself. It carries within it fragments of the past, minerals formed before life began, melted, blended, renewed. Each slow surge upward is a moment revisited, a memory reimagined in heat. When it breaks the surface, we see time in motion, glowing, changing, never still. Lava hardens into rock, then crumbles, then melts again, repeating the endless circle. Nothing is wasted. Everything transforms. In that molten rhythm lies the planet's promise that creation and decay are not opposites, but partners. To gaze upon magma is to glimpse eternity in motion, slow, luminous, inevitable. And as it cools beneath the stars, time itself seems to rest, glowing softly in the dark. Beneath the crust, quiet forces gather. Magma waits, heavy and patient, pressing gently against the walls that hold it. It is not anger that moves it, but longing, the natural urge to reach light again. Layer by layer, the weight of rock bends and breathes until a pathway opens. Sometimes this takes centuries, sometimes millennia, but the pressure never loses faith. It rises, carrying the heat of creation through miles of darkness, seeking release not in destruction, but in balance. When it finally finds air, the earth exhales. Steam, ash, and light merge in a moment of calm power. Then, as quickly as it came, the pressure fades, leaving behind silence, warmth, and a reminder that even the strongest forces rise slowly. Every volcano has its own voice. Some speak softly, letting molten rock ooze in glowing ribbons across the ground. Others shout, flinging ash into the sky with thunderous grace. Yet even in the fiercest eruption, there is a strange rhythm, an order hidden within chaos. Gentle eruptions build quietly, forming smooth hills and islands that cradle life. Explosive ones sculpt valleys and skies, clearing paths for renewal. Both are languages of the same planet, expressing energy in different tones. The earth never wastes its motion. Every burst, every flow serves creation. When the noise fades, what remains is beauty. Cooled stone, fertile ash, new beginnings. The contrast reminds us, calm and power are not enemies. They are simply the earth breathing in different ways. Every crater is a memory, an open eye through which the planet has once looked upon itself. Formed from moments of release, they rest in silence now, deep, round, and still. The walls are lined with stories of pressure and peace, heat and surrender. Over time, rain gathers there, sunlight drifts across their edges, and life quietly returns. Some fill with forests, others with shimmering lakes, all holding the calm after. Fire. To stand by a crater is to feel both the force that shaped it and the gentleness that followed. These are not wounds, but reminders of breath, where the earth once exhaled and then fell into rest again. Through them, the planet watches eternity unfold, unblinking, serene. At the heart of certain volcanoes, molten lakes shimmer like living suns. Their surfaces ripple slowly, reflecting a light that seems to come from the beginning of time. Beneath the glow, waves of magma rise and fall, restless yet balanced. It is chaos tamed, heat contained by patience. Standing near one, you feel the warmth of a world still forming, yet peaceful in its motion. The lava churns, folds, and glows in silent conversation with gravity. No two moments are the same, yet nothing truly changes. It is creation breathing without end, a mirror of energy, depth, and quiet endurance. As night falls, the glow softens and the lake becomes a dream, fire resting under stars. When a volcano exhales, the sky answers. Fine particles of ash drift upward, light as whispers, carried by winds across oceans and time. From afar, they look like soft gray feathers spreading in slow motion against the blue. Each grain is ancient rock reborn, cooled, lifted, and given flight. What once lay deep within the earth now dances with the air, painting the horizon in delicate veils. These clouds filter sunlight into gold, turning day into quiet twilight. Beneath them, the world seems to pause, wrapped in a calm, silvery glow. The air smells faintly of stone and renewal. Even in their transience, ash clouds remind us that endings can float, shimmer, and fall gently back to rest upon the waiting ground. There is a moment in every eruption when the elements touch. Flame reaching upward, air folding around it, sky glowing with borrowed light. It is the meeting of worlds, the depth and the height, the hidden and the infinite. Sparks rise like constellations born too close to Earth, fading softly as they cool. The sky accepts them, absorbs their warmth, and returns to stillness. In that brief communion, creation feels complete. Fire becomes air, stone becomes dust, and the cycle renews. To watch it is to see unity, the earth speaking to the heavens, a fleeting harmony of opposites. And when the glow dims, silence takes its place, carrying the memory of connection that will happen again, somewhere, someday. When the lava cools and the smoke fades, silence settles over the land. What was once molten and fierce becomes stone, dark and still. Yet beneath that quiet surface, life is already waiting. Seeds carried by wind find shelter in the cracks. Rain gathers, soil forms, and green returns. Moss spreads like soft breath over the ash, and tiny roots weave through the cooled ground. In time, forests rise where fire once moved. The same heat that destroyed has nourished, leaving minerals that feed the next generation of growth. Every leaf becomes proof that renewal follows ruin. The earth teaches us again and again, no ending is final, only a pause between creation and calm. Even fire, when it sleeps, makes room for life. When a volcano grows quiet, it is not gone, only resting. The fires sink deeper, the pressure softens, and the mountain exhales, a long invisible sigh. Its slopes cool under rain and snow, its craters fill with still water, and time begins its gentle work of healing. Villages bloom at its feet, forests climb its sides, unaware of the sleeping heat below. Dormancy is not death, it is patience. The earth holds its energy close, waiting for the right breath, the next slow awakening. Until then, the volcano dreams of light, of motion, of the ancient rhythm that binds all things. And above its silent peak, stars shimmer like embers, watching the planet rest, breathing in harmony once more. Within every stream of lava lies a story written in chemistry and fire. Silica, iron, magnesium, each element plays its note, shaping texture, color, and movement. When they combine, the earth speaks in molten verse, a slow poem of transformation. High silica makes the flow thick and patient, sculpting steep domes that seem to breathe. Low silica brings fluid grace, rivers of flame gliding like liquid glass. These reactions, silent yet alive, mirror the balance within all creation: heat and coolness, motion and rest. Watching lava move is like reading the planet's handwriting, glowing in red and gold. Its rhythm is timeless, its language universal. A soft reminder that even fire has grammar, and even chaos knows how to sing. Silica is the quiet sculptor within the molten heart. Invisible to the eye, it decides how lava flows, how it cools, and what shapes it will take when the world breathes out fire. When silica abounds, the lava thickens, moves slowly, forming towers and ridges that hold their heat like deep thought. With less of it, the molten rivers glide freely, stretching across miles of darkened land. In this simple shift, the personality of a volcano is born. It is chemistry turned into emotion, the difference between a whisper and a roar. And when the flow ends, the textures remain: glossy obsidian, rough basalt, porous pumice, each one a memory of how silica once spoke, shaping patience into stone. When magma breaks the surface and races downhill, it looks like a living pulse, a red river born of the planet's hidden heart. Its speed depends on its makeup, its heat, and the slope it finds, but always it moves with intention. Some flows creep, thick and glowing, shaping every stone they touch. Others rush forward, dazzling and unstoppable, a ribbon of living light. To watch it is to witness motion without hesitation, nature's courage made visible. And yet, within that power, there's serenity. The lava doesn't fight or pause, it simply follows gravity's calm guidance. When it finally cools, the memory of motion remains, frozen mid-gesture, a sculpture of movement, proof that even speed can feel like stillness when seen through time. The moment lava meets air, it begins to change. Heat escapes like breath after a long climb, and the glow softens into black, glassy quiet. Inside the cooling crust, tiny crystals begin to form, ordered, patterns born from chaos. Each mineral finds its place, locking the flow into stillness while preserving its story. Obsidian, basalt, and andesite all remember how quickly they cooled, how fiercely they once shone. What was liquid becomes memory. What was motion becomes structure. It is the planet's slow alchemy, fire surrendering to form. Watching it harden is like seeing time pause. The instant energy becomes peace. And beneath the surface, unseen, Warmth lingers, holding the echo of creation in silence. Deep beneath the ocean, lava flows where sunlight never reaches. When molten rock meets cold water, it folds into round, bulbous shapes, smooth pillows of stone that pile gently upon one another. Each one forms in an instant, cooling from liquid to solid as steam whispers through the dark. Over time, these shapes stack and stretch, creating underwater mountains that rise silently from the deep. The ocean above drifts in calm indifference, unaware of the fire-weaving land below. Divers who find these formations see beauty sculpted by contrast, heat shaped by stillness, chaos calmed by chill. Pillow lava reminds us that even in darkness, creation continues. The earth writes softly there, forming new worlds in the hush beneath the waves. From fire's fiercest heat comes the planet's most delicate glass. Obsidian forms when lava cools too quickly for crystals to grow, a single, frozen breath of molten time. Its surface is black, yet it reflects like water, turning the world around it into a quiet mirror. Ancient peoples used it for blades and for beauty, cutting and seeing with the same stone. When held to light, it glows with depth, as if the fire still lingers inside. Obsidian is the earth's memory, smooth and sharp, calm and strong. It reminds us that transformation need not roar. Sometimes it happens in silence, in an instant. What was once wild flame now rests still, reflecting the stars it once tried to reach. When lava meets water and cools too quickly, it traps tiny pockets of air inside itself, and from that quiet collision, pumice is born. It is stone-made light, rock that can float, the planet's softest echo of fire. Each bubble tells of heat turned to breath, of molten rage transformed into gentleness. To hold a piece of pumice is to feel paradox in your hand, solid yet weightless, born of flame yet soothed by water. It drifts upon the sea like forgotten ash, carried to distant shores where it waits in silence. Pumice teaches that even the heaviest beginnings can end in lightness. It is the proof that pressure, once released, can leave behind only calm and air. Across the world, vast plains of basalt stretch in quiet simplicity, ancient lava flows frozen into time. Their surfaces are dark, smooth, and endless, like the night sky, made solid. These plains were once rivers of molten rock, moving for miles before cooling under wind and moonlight. Now they hold the memory of motion, the patience of cooling earth. Beneath their surface, life slowly returns. Moss, grass, the whisper of roots exploring cracks. In their stillness lies endurance. In their silence, a kind of song. Basalt is the earth's steady voice, calm and unwavering, a reminder that what once burned brightly can rest without regret. The plains remain wide and solemn, breathing centuries in every stone. The movement of lava seems wild, yet it obeys quiet laws. Viscosity, temperature, slope, each plays its role in shaping the river of fire. Scientists measure its rhythm, timing the way it spreads and cools, but the beauty lies beyond the numbers. Every flow is a conversation between gravity and resistance, heat and time. It thickens where the ground levels, quickens where the earth drops away, always listening to the pull of the planet itself. This is how the earth breathes, not with air, but with motion. To watch a lava flow is to see science and poetry meet. Predictable, yet endlessly new. Even in its pattern, there is wonder. Even in its rules, an untamed grace that refuses to end. When the last ripple of lava cools, the world seems to hold its breath. Smoke thins, the glow fades, and silence settles where fire once moved. The hardened surface glints faintly under moonlight, a mirror for the stars above. In that stillness, time feels suspended, as if the planet is pausing to remember what it just created. The heat beneath remains for a while, a quiet pulse under black stone. Eventually, even that fades, leaving peace, smooth, glassy, eternal. Stillness, after motion, is not emptiness. It is completion. The earth has spoken, reshaped, and now rests. Standing there, one can almost hear the cooling crust whisper. Creation does not end with calm. It becomes calm. In Japan, Mount Fuji rises like a thought held perfectly still. Its slopes are smooth, its peak crowned with snow, and for centuries it has been a mirror for meditation. Pilgrims climb it in silence, not to conquer, but to listen. Even when clouds gather around its head, the mountain seems to breathe serenity into the air. Once, fire flowed through its heart. Now, it rests in dignified quiet, dreaming of the sky. At sunrise, the first light touches its summit like a prayer, turning stone to gold. For the people below, Fuji is not just a mountain. It is a guardian, a teacher of patience. To look upon it is to understand calm power, the kind that needs no motion to be felt. Far across the Pacific, the islands of Hawaii live in an eternal conversation with fire. Here, volcanoes do not destroy, they create, layer by layer, building new land in slow, glowing motion. Kilauea breathes softly, releasing lava that glides like honey toward the sea. When it meets the ocean, steam blooms upward, a meeting of elements older than time. Locals speak of Pele, the spirit of the volcano, as a presence both fierce and loving. She shapes the land, then lets it rest, teaching the rhythm of renewal. Even now, fresh rock cools beneath the stars, becoming tomorrow's shore. In Hawaii, creation never ends. It only changes form, reminding all who watch that fire too can be gentle. In Iceland, ice and flame live side by side. Ancient rivals turned companions. Beneath glaciers, magma moves like slow lightning, carving tunnels through ice as thick as mountains. When eruptions come, steam rises in vast plumes, and the air shimmers with contradiction. Cold and heat entwined in quiet harmony. The land hums with geothermal breath. Geysers whisper, hot springs sing. Each eruption leaves new land behind. Black rock steaming against white snow, a canvas for wind and time. Here, the planet's heart beats close to the surface, yet its fire feels calm, almost kind. The people of Iceland have learned not to fear it. They build near warmth, listen to the ground, and live within the poetry of frozen fire. Off the coast of Italy, Stromboli speaks in sparks. Night after night, it exhales small bursts of glowing ash, painting the dark sky with gentle light. Sailors once called it the lighthouse of the Mediterranean, a beacon born not of man, but of Earth itself. Its eruptions are steady, predictable like a heartbeat heard across water. The island around it sleeps peacefully, its people accustomed to the rhythm, their lives tuned to its breathing. Even the sea seems calmer near its shores, as if soothed by the soft cadence of fire. Stromboli's whisper is a promise that creation doesn't always need to roar. Sometimes it glows quietly, lighting the night with patience and the memory of unending life. Kilimanjaro rises alone above the plains of Africa, its snow-capped crown shimmering against the golden horizon. Though its fires have long since quieted, the mountain still breathes in its own way, through clouds drifting across its peaks, through winds weaving songs around its ridges. once alive with molten heartbeats, it now rests in watchful silence, guarding the lands below. Elephants move along its base, birds trace its silhouette, and life thrives under its steady gaze. Kilimanjaro is more than stone. It is memory-made mountain, the embodiment of peaceful power. Its slopes remind us that rest is not weakness, but wisdom, the calm that follows creation. Beneath its sleeping majesty, the earth keeps time, unhurried, infinite, and kind. On the island of Sicily, Mount Etna watches the Mediterranean with ancient patience. It breathes often softly, its plumes rising like threads of incense into the sky. For millennia, people have lived upon its fertile slopes, farming the dark, mineral-rich soil gifted by its eruptions. Etna's moods are many, sometimes quiet, sometimes fiery, yet always balanced. The mountain gives as much as it takes, shaping lives with its rhythm. Villages cling to its sides not out of defiance, but trust. They understand its language, warmth, renewal, and the gentle reminder that power can coexist with generosity. Each glow upon its summit is both warning and wonder, the steady pulse of a guardian who never sleeps. Beneath the forests and lakes of Yellowstone, a vast reservoir of magma lies waiting, silent but alive. Geysers erupt like breaths of the deep, and pools shimmer in colors no painter could name. Blues, ambers, and golds born from minerals and heat. This is the earth dreaming beneath a calm disguise. The surface feels peaceful, yet every bubble and hiss is a quiet reminder of the power below. Yellowstone is not dangerous by nature. It is contemplative, patient, ancient. It teaches that strength can rest unseen, that even fire has seasons of stillness. Visitors walk its trails unaware that beneath each step flows the same molten pulse that shaped the planet itself. Gentle, vast, and endlessly warm. Stretching along South America, the Andes rise like a continent's backbone, mountains sculpted by fire, snow, and time. Within them sleep hundreds of volcanoes, their summits kissing the thin sky. Some still breathe, sending small puffs of ash into the wind. Others rest beneath glaciers, dreaming of light. The people who live among them have long understood their spirit, offering songs, dances, and prayers to honor the balance between life and fire. In the cold air, the scent of stone and smoke lingers, a reminder of the earth's eternal work. The Andes are a living monument to patience, each peak a chapter in a story written by heat and shaped by silence. Encircling the great Pacific Ocean lies a necklace of flame, the ring of fire. From New Zealand to Alaska, from Chile to Japan, volcanoes stand like watchtowers at the edge of the sea. They speak in turns, never all at once, maintaining the planet's careful rhythm. Beneath their roots, the Earth's plates shift and slide, whispering through stone. Here, creation is constant. New islands rise, old ones sink, continents drift as if carried by thought. It is not destruction that rules this ring, but balance, the eternal dance of movement and renewal. Seen from above, the Pacific glows with quiet firelight, a living border where ocean and land meet in patient conversation that has lasted for ages. Not all volcanoes tower on distant horizons. Some sleep quietly beneath our feet, hidden under forests, lakes, or fields we cross without knowing. They are the unnoticed guardians of our regions, ancient mounds softened by time, a hill near a town, a rocky ridge behind a farm. Many once breathed fire. Though dormant, they remain part of the same living system, connected by the deep warmth that threads through the planet's core. To realize this is to feel a deeper belonging, that even at home, the Earth's creative pulse hums below us. We live not apart from volcanoes, but above their patient dreams. The ground is not just ground, it is memory, resting gently under every step. When an eruption ends and the sky clears, the ground lies gray and silent beneath a layer of ash, yet within that stillness, new life waits. What seems like dust is rich with minerals, iron, potassium, and phosphorus, gifts from the deep earth scattered across the surface. Rain softens the ash, turning it into a gentle soil where seeds can root and breathe. Slowly, green returns, first moss, then ferns, then forests. The same fire that burned has nourished the next bloom. It is nature's quiet paradox, destruction as renewal, silence as preparation. Over time, the ash becomes a fertile blanket, wrapping the land in patience. From what was lost, the world begins again, soft and full of promise. Far out at sea, new islands rise from the ocean's calm. Born of eruptions that once roared beneath the waves, they emerge in steam and ash, fragile and young, yet radiant with creation. At first, they are black stone and sulfur scent, but soon wind and waves sculpt them smooth. Birds arrive, carrying seeds. Tides bring driftwood and life. Within years, what was molten becomes green. Palm trees root in the volcanic sand, and the sound of waves replaces the crackle of fire. To witness such birth is to glimpse the earth's endless artistry. Every island is a promise that creation never truly ends. It only changes form, shaping new worlds from the heat of old ones. In the darkest corners of the ocean, where volcanic vents release shimmering clouds of heat, life thrives in ways once thought impossible. Tiny microbes gather around the mineral-rich plumes, feeding not on sunlight, but on the energy of the earth itself. They transform heat into sustenance, building delicate ecosystems in the cold abyss. Around them, strange creatures bloom, tube worms, ghostly fish, translucent crabs, all drawn to the warmth rising from the seafloor. Here, creation feels raw and intimate, a quiet spark within endless night. These microbes are the planet's first alchemists, turning fire into life, proof that even in the most unlikely places, the Earth's touch is gentle, and its warmth is a promise that life will always find a way. Walk upon an ancient lava field, and you'll see forests reclaiming what fire once claimed. Between cracks of black stone, soft ferns unfold. Moss drapes over hardened ridges, transforming ash into green. Over decades, roots push deeper, breaking the surface, turning rock into soil. Birds nest in volcanic cliffs, streams carve new paths through cooled rivers of stone. The air smells of life reborn, rich and wet. Each tree growing from a fissure feels like an act of forgiveness, a silent thank you to the earth for its cycles of creation. The forest doesn't erase the lava. It embraces it, wrapping the dark memories of heat in the softness of leaves. Fire made this land, life completes it. Every eruption leaves behind more than stone, it leaves potential. When lava breaks down over centuries, it becomes soil unlike any other, dark, dense, and full of minerals that feed new life. Iron gives color, magnesium gives strength, and the ashes of fire become nourishment. Farmers who live near volcanoes know this secret well. They plant vineyards, gardens, and orchards in the shadow of old flows, their harvests rich with the flavor of the deep earth. What was once destruction becomes sustenance. Beneath every field of grain or forest of fruit, there lies the memory of heat. The land remembers its fire, but no longer burns. In the quiet cycle of transformation, The planet proves again that life grows best where passion once lived. When the ground cools and decades pass, people return. They rebuild homes near the slopes, drawn by the fertile soil, the beauty, and the silent promise of belonging. Villages rise where lava once glowed, their walls built from the same stones that carried fire. Children play on the edges of old craters, unaware of the power that sleeps beneath their feet. To live beside a volcano is to live with humility, an understanding that safety and danger share the same ground. Yet the people stay, planting roots deeper than fear. They trust the earth's rhythm, believing that calm follows every storm. And so, life resumes in the shadow of creation, where fire once raged and now peace quietly grows. Every culture touched by volcanoes tells stories of fire and renewal. In Hawaii, Pele's dance is both destruction and creation, her flames shaping new land with every movement. In Japan, gods of mountains sleep within their peaks, dreaming of balance. In ancient Greece, Hephaestus forged beauty in molten fire, turning chaos into art. These myths remind people that the Earth's power is not cruelty, but transformation. Volcanoes become symbols of life reborn, of endings that lead to beginnings. Around their slopes, festivals bloom, songs rise, offerings are placed in the soil. Through story, humanity learns to see warmth in the fire, grace in the ash. The world remembers that creation's fiercest moments are also its most tender. Life has always adapted to the warmth of the planet's breath. Around volcanic vents and fumaroles, species thrive where few would dare to live. Flowers that bloom in sulfur air, birds nesting on warm stones, insects dancing near steam. Each one finds comfort in what others would call peril. Heat becomes shelter. Minerals become nourishment. Over millennia, evolution weaves new patterns in these places of contrast, proving that resilience is nature's quiet masterpiece. Even humans have evolved beside fire, learning to cook, forge, and create with the planet's gift of heat. To live near warmth is to grow with it, to find strength not by avoiding change, but by embracing it. The Earth's fire becomes life's teacher. Fire, though fierce, is one of life's oldest allies. It clears what is old so that the new may grow. In forests, near volcanoes, certain seeds will only open after the heat of flame, a quiet agreement between life and destruction. The ash that settles afterward feeds the soil, and creatures return to find abundance where emptiness once lay. Even the air feels changed, charged with the scent of renewal. Fire's true gift is balance, the understanding that nothing is ever truly lost. From the smallest sprout to the tallest tree, everything owes its shape to transformation. To watch life return after fire is to witness forgiveness written in nature's hand, soft, green, and eternal. After the final plume fades and the last ember cools, a deep silence covers the land. The air feels lighter, as if the earth itself is exhaling in relief. Over the blackened fields, clouds drift slowly, carrying the first drops of cleansing rain. The world begins again, softer, quieter, whole. People walk the new ground carefully, their footsteps echoing with awe instead of fear. In that stillness, they realize that peace is not the absence of fire, but its gentle consequence. The planet, having spoken in flame, now whispers in calm. Every eruption ends in rest, every storm in still water. And as the night settles over cooled stone, the world hums once more, alive, forgiven, at peace. Across centuries and continents, people have looked upon volcanoes and seen not danger, but divinity. Fire that shapes mountains cannot be ordinary. it must belong to gods. In Hawaii, Pele dances with flame, her spirit alive in every spark. In Rome, Vulcan forges in the mountain's heart, his hammer echoing in thunder. To the Maori, Mahuika keeps the sacred fire of creation hidden in her hands. These deities are not cruel. They are powerful and patient. Their tempers like the earth's, fierce yet purposeful. Through them, humans found reverence in destruction, meaning in the roar of nature. To speak of fire was to speak of the divine, and to see in molten light a reflection of life's own unstoppable energy. Long before science, stories explained the glow beneath the ground. In some, volcanoes were portals to the underworld. In others, they were the hearts of sleeping giants. Myths painted the world as alive, its eruptions as sighs, its quakes as dreams. Across islands, mountains, and deserts, tales emerged of how fire shaped life, gods battling beneath the earth, or lovers trapped in molten embrace, creating rivers of light. These legends carried wisdom beyond words, that creation and destruction are twin forces, forever entwined. When people told these stories by firelight, they were not only remembering their gods, but listening to the heartbeat of their planet. In every myth, the earth was not a place. It was a presence. Poets have long turned to volcanoes when words failed to hold emotion. In their verses, the mountain's fire becomes the fire of the heart. Longing, anger, passion, creation. From ancient chants to modern lines, the imagery endures. Flame beneath calm, light beneath silence. They see in eruptions a metaphor for truth, something buried, rising when it can no longer be contained. Lava becomes language, molten and raw, carving its meaning into the world. Yet even after the eruption, poetry lingers in the stillness that follows, the quiet acceptance, the slow rebuilding. Every volcano in verse is both a cry and a lullaby, an echo of the human spirit learning to speak in rhythm with the earth's own breath. Humanity has always lived in awe of volcanoes, caught between fear and devotion. The same mountain that gives fertile soil can, in a moment, take it away. And so, people learned respect, leaving offerings, building shrines, whispering prayers to the unseen powers beneath. Fear kept them humble, reverence kept them grateful. Over time, both emotions intertwined into wisdom. To live near a volcano was to live in awareness that beauty and danger coexist, that peace is never permanent, but precious. When the ground trembled, it was not punishment, but a reminder. We share this world with forces beyond our control, and in that truth, humanity found something deeper than fear, a quiet, enduring faith in balance. Around volcanoes, generations have practiced quiet acts of respect, rituals meant not to control the fire, but to live alongside it. In Indonesia, farmers still climb the slopes of Mount Merapi with offerings of rice and flowers, gifts for the mountain spirit. In Mexico, songs rise into the dusk for Popocatépetl, the smoking guardian of the valley. In each gesture lies the same intention: gratitude, humility, and peace. These rituals do not seek to silence the earth, but to acknowledge its voice. They are conversations between people and planet, soft, steady, sincere. As incense drifts into the air, prayers mix with volcanic breath, and for a moment, harmony feels possible. Reverence becomes protection, and respect becomes survival. When volcanoes grow quiet, myths say their gods have fallen asleep. The mountains rest, their flames dimmed to dreams, but their presence remains, patient, eternal. People walk their slopes carefully, whispering so as not to disturb their slumber. In still craters, offerings are left just in case the gods awaken. This belief carries comfort. If the divine can rest, so can the world. Dormant peaks become symbols of patience, reminders that strength need not roar to exist. The gods of fire are not gone. They are breathing slowly beneath the crust, waiting for the next moment of renewal. In their long sleep, they teach humans the same lesson, that peace is not absence, but gentle waiting. Today, volcanoes appear not only in myth, but in art, music, and thought, symbols of passion, creation, and awakening. Painters capture their glow as the color of rebirth. Filmmakers use eruptions to mirror human emotion. Scientists describe them as the planet's language, alive and evolving. In psychology, they represent the power within, feelings suppressed until they rise to transform us. Modern minds no longer see volcanoes as angry gods, but as teachers of energy and renewal. They remind us that silence is temporary, that beneath composure there is movement, life, and change. In a world that rushes to forget its depths, volcanoes stand as monuments of honesty, proof that even calmness holds fire beneath its skin. In dreams, volcanoes often appear at the edge of perception, mountains trembling in soft light, horizons glowing with unseen fire. They represent something stirring within, an emotion or idea waiting to rise. Some wake from such dreams feeling peace, others urgency. The imagery is ancient, carried in our collective memory of fire and earth. To dream of a volcano is to remember the planet's pulse and our connection to it. It is the subconscious speaking in the language of creation. When the volcano in a dream finally erupts, it is rarely terror that follows, but release. The dreamer wakes lighter, as though something long held has found its way into the open air. Every legend born from fire carries a quiet truth. Behind the gods and battles, the sacrifices and miracles, lies a single lesson. Creation demands respect. The old stories remind us that power and beauty often share the same source, that to love the earth is to honor its strength. In ancient chants, people did not beg volcanoes for mercy. They thanked them for reminding humanity of its place. Myths were not warnings, but relationships, weaving humans into the rhythm of the planet. They taught humility without fear, wonder without possession. When we listen to those stories today, we hear not superstition, but memory, a reminder that our ancestors once understood what it meant to live in conversation with fire. To live beside volcanoes is to practice balance. Humanity builds, the earth remakes, and life continues between their pulses. Farmers plant on cooled ash, children play on ancient slopes, and people look to the glowing summits not with dread, but with reverence. The volcano gives and takes in equal measure, mirroring the cycle of breath, in, out, destruction, renewal. True harmony comes not from control, but from coexistence. Fire is not our enemy, it is our origin. When we walk upon volcanic ground, we stand upon our own beginning. The same heat that forged land now fuels our warmth, our thought, our creativity. In accepting that bond, we find peace with the fire that made us. Within the planet's hidden heart, chemistry works like quiet art. Silicates, gases, and trace minerals swirl together, their balance deciding the mood of a volcano. Add more silica, and the lava thickens, moving slowly, speaking in gentle rumble. Less, and it flows freely, smooth, unhurried, glowing like melted glass. Gases mix, expand, and whisper their way upward through cracks, shaping every sound of eruption. No chaos, only reaction, each element fulfilling its simple rule. The beauty lies in its precision, the planet's equations written in flame. To study magma is to read Earth's oldest recipe, one that blends patience with transformation. Beneath the numbers and formulas lies a truth even deeper, that nature's science is as poetic as its fire. Pressure is the heartbeat of every eruption, invisible, constant, alive. Deep within, molten rock builds beneath layers of stone, waiting for release. Each movement above, a quake, a shift, even the cooling of seasons, changes the balance slightly. When the moment comes, pressure finds its way through cracks, lifting magma toward the sky. Yet the process is measured, elegant, and slow. It's not violence, but inevitability. Scientists trace it with sensors and equations, but the essence is simple. Build, release, renew. The earth, like breath, cannot hold forever. It exhales through vents and fissures, restoring calm. The dynamics of pressure are the planet's way of remembering rhythm, expansion, contraction, and the gentle balance between. Every volcano has its own shape, its own temperament. Some rise broad and low like shields, spreading their warmth in quiet waves. Others climb steeply, their sides marked by centuries of layered eruptions, each stratum a memory of past breath. Cinder cones form quickly, small yet fierce, built from fragments flung skyward before settling into perfect symmetry. Then there are the calderas, vast and solemn, where the earth has exhaled so deeply that the ground itself has sunk to rest. Each form tells a story of movement and restraint, of how heat met gravity and learned grace. To see these shapes is to read the handwriting of the planet, different expressions of the same steady, creative pulse beneath. Among all volcanoes, shield volcanoes are the calmest. Their lava is gentle, flowing like honey across the land, spreading thin but far. Instead of roaring explosions, they breathe softly, layer upon layer, building vast slopes that stretch toward the horizon. Mauna Loa in Hawaii is one such giant, ancient, patient, radiant with warmth. When it erupts, the world glows quietly for weeks, a moving sea of molten gold. The air hums, but the ground stays steady. These eruptions teach stillness through motion, power without haste. Standing near one, you don't feel fear, you feel awe, the deep comfort of the earth, creating without violence. Shield volcanoes remind us that even fire can choose to flow in peace. Stratovolcanoes rise like ancient cathedrals, their steep sides built by centuries of alternating strength. Lava, ash, and stone, layered in perfect memory. They are the storytellers of the Earth's moods, quiet for decades, then alive with brief intensity. Mount Fuji, Mount Rainier, Cotopaxi, each stands regal and still, its summit touching the edges of clouds. Inside, pressure moves with the patience of breath, never rushing its release. When they do awaken, their eruptions are complex symphonies of sound and light, powerful yet fleeting. These volcanoes teach reverence, the understanding that beauty and power are not opposites, but reflections of the same source. Their majesty lies not only in their height, but in their silence between songs. Beneath the calm surface of the oceans, fire and water meet in quiet creation. Along the planet's ridges, molten rock seeps upward, cooling instantly to form new seafloor. Each eruption builds a little more of the world we stand upon. In darkness, where sunlight never travels, volcanoes bloom like glowing flowers, illuminating the deep. Tiny creatures gather around their warmth, life forming in the most unlikely of places. From these hidden cradles, entire ecosystems awaken. What begins as heat becomes foundation. What begins unseen becomes the bedrock of continents. The ocean carries the secret softly, its waves unaware of the worlds growing below. Every coastline, every island owes its shape to these silent underwater births. A volcano's silence is never empty. Beneath the still slopes and forested ridges, warmth lingers, not gone, only waiting. Dormancy is the mountain's meditation, its long breath drawn inward. Years pass, then centuries, as rain carves paths down its sides and life returns to its valleys. Yet deep below, magma continues its patient rhythm, gathering, cooling, shifting. When the moment comes, it does not awaken in anger, but in necessity, an exhale after long restraint. Scientists call this a cycle. Poets might call it patience. The volcano's rest reminds us that calm and power are twins, inseparable and eternal. Even in sleep, the earth listens to itself, preparing quietly for its next beautiful act of renewal. To understand the language of volcanoes, humans have learned to listen carefully. Instruments now trace every tremor, every sigh of gas, every subtle tilt of the ground. Seismographs draw delicate lines, the handwriting of Earth's thoughts. Satellites watch from above, noting how heat blooms and fades. Through these quiet measurements, scientists translate chaos into comprehension, danger into rhythm. Each reading tells a story: pressure building, gas escaping, calm returning. Yet the tools do more than warn. They connect us to the planet's pulse. To measure an eruption is to recognize that even the most powerful forces can be understood with patience and humility. The earth speaks constantly, and when we listen gently, it speaks in peace. Scientists once sought to predict only disaster, but over time, they learned to read signs of calm as well. Gas levels drop, tremors fade, the ground cools, small gestures of rest. Through satellites and sensors, they watch the volcano's heartbeat slow, confirming that the earth, for now, sleeps peacefully. These quiet findings are as important as warnings, proof that stability is not luck, but rhythm. Each lull teaches balance, showing that eruptions are only moments in an ongoing breath. The science of calm prediction is the science of trust, observing patience, measuring peace. When the instruments fall still, the world listens, comforted by the silence that follows. Even the earth's quiet has patterns, soft and precise as breathing. The study of volcanoes moves forward like the lava itself, slow, bright, and unstoppable. New satellites, drones, and sensors dive deeper into understanding the planet's moods. Yet for all the data, the work remains deeply human, curiosity mixed with respect. Future volcanologists will not only predict eruptions, but nurture harmony between people and fire. They will map how heat creates life, how destruction gives rise to renewal. Each discovery will bring us closer to the truth our ancestors already knew, that the earth is alive, not dangerous, only expressive. The future of this science lies in awe, not fear. As we listen more closely, we'll find that every rumble beneath our feet is simply the planet speaking. The earth sings in vibrations too low for human ears to hear. These are its seismic songs, long, slow waves that travel through stone and sea, humming beneath our every moment. Seismologists record them as faint patterns on paper, elegant arcs that reveal the world's hidden rhythm. Each quake, each distant tremor adds a new note to the melody. Even when no volcano erupts, the planet hums softly, a background music to existence. If we could translate those frequencies into sound, we might hear something like a heartbeat mingled with wind, the voice of stability, of motion without chaos. Listening to these songs reminds us that the earth is never silent. It breathes, it murmurs, it keeps time for all life. Beyond the range of ordinary hearing, the planet speaks in infrasound, deep, slow, vibrations that roll through air and water. Scientists use special microphones to capture them, the sigh of a volcano, the echo of a wave striking shore, the low pulse of a distant eruption. These sounds move like heartbeats through the world, steady and unhurried. Animals sense them long before humans do. Elephants, whales, and birds all attuned to the whispers beneath sound. To study infrasound is to eavesdrop on the Earth's conversation with itself, a dialogue of patience and continuity. Each pulse, though invisible, connects us to a greater rhythm. Beneath all noise and motion, the world keeps its slow, gentle beat. High above the clouds, silent observers drift, satellites tracing the planet's pulse from afar. They measure heat, movement, and subtle shifts invisible from the ground. A faint glow from a crater, a small rise in temperature, a breath of gas caught in the wind, all telltale signs of the Earth turning in its sleep. These orbiting eyes see what we cannot. Volcanoes breathing quietly beneath forests, deep vents glowing under oceans, new islands preparing to rise. Yet their work is not cold surveillance, it is care. From the stillness of space, they witness the living Earth with gentleness. Even from such distance, the data they gather feels intimate. The universe listening to one of its children dream. On mountain slopes and coastal ridges, small instruments hum softly in the wind. They wait, endlessly patient, recording each tremor and whisper of heat. Scientists visit them like caretakers, checking wires, collecting readings, listening to the planet through circuits and screens. Each beep, each signal is a conversation in progress, the Earth speaking slowly and humans learning the art of waiting. Volcanology is not a science of haste. It rewards those who can listen without expectation. And some days, the instruments capture only silence. Yet even that is knowledge, proof of peace. The sensors keep vigil through storms and seasons, enduring like the mountains they watch. Together, they remind us that true understanding begins with quiet attention. Across valleys and mountainsides, scientists trace the paths of ancient lava, mapping where the Earth once spoke in light. Each hardened flow is a sentence in the planet's long story, a record of movement preserved in stone. With satellite images, ground surveys, and patient observation, they follow these frozen rivers to their sources. Old vents now quiet, their edges softened by time. These maps are more than data. They are biographies of motion, showing where heat became form and where life returned after fire. To study them is to walk backward through time, to feel the Earth's pulse in reverse. Every map drawn is both a remembrance and a promise that even what is silent still speaks through shape. Those who study volcanoes learn quickly that science alone is not enough. Respect must guide every step. Standing near a crater, you can feel the living power beneath, a warmth that humbles calculation. Researchers pause before placing instruments, often in quiet reflection, knowing the ground they measure is sacred to others, alive to itself. They collaborate with local communities, honoring traditions as deeply as they honor data. In this union of knowledge and reverence, a new understanding emerges. To study the earth is to serve it. Respect transforms observation into harmony, turning the act of research into an act of care. The planet listens too, responding gently to those who approach in peace. Science, at its heart, is observation, the art of seeing without intrusion. Volcanologists know this well. They stand at the edges of power, not to command it, but to understand it. With notebooks in hand and eyes lifted toward the glow, they bear witness to creation unfolding in real time. The rumble of the ground, the shimmer of heat in the air, these become data, yes, but also devotion. In their silence, they honor the Earth's performance. They record, they wait, they learn. The true scientist does not interrupt the story, but listens until meaning reveals itself. In this way, science becomes a quiet form of faith, the steady belief that every tremor holds truth and every silence speaks. Curiosity is a flame, and like all fire, it must be tended carefully. When humans first approached volcanoes, curiosity came with fear. Now it comes with wonder. Scientists dig, measure, and explore, but with gentleness, not to conquer, but to connect. Each new discovery is handled as a fragile gift, a reminder that knowledge too must respect its source. Instruments may reach into the depths, yet intention keeps them humble. Curiosity becomes compassion when guided by care. To ask how the earth works is to ask how we belong to it. Every gentle question brings us closer, not to power, but to understanding. And in that approach, the distance between human and planet quietly disappears. Beneath the charts and screens, data has its own soft voice. Each line, each curve, each number is a whisper from the planet, fragments of conversation carried across stone and time. Scientists read these patterns like poetry, tracing their rhythm, sensing their calm. A spike in temperature, a subtle tremor, a gentle hum. None speak loudly, yet together they tell the story of the earth in motion. In this silence of digits and graphs, awe persists. It is humbling to realize that something as vast as the planet can be understood through such delicate signals. The data does not shout its meaning, it murmurs it. And those who listen closely enough begin to hear the earth breathing between the lines. At the end of every study, every measurement, there is gratitude. The instruments are packed, the notebooks closed, but the feeling remains, a quiet thankfulness for having been allowed to listen. The earth gives endlessly, warmth, balance, rhythm, life. Its voice hums through every living thing, steady and kind. To whisper, "Thank you," is to acknowledge that we are part of its harmony, not separate from it. Every volcano, every tremor, every calm moment reminds us of that bond. The planet asks for nothing more than respect and awareness. And as we step away from the mountain, from the ash, from the sound of its heart, we carry that gratitude like warmth in our chest. High above Earth, Venus glows like a distant ember, a planet veiled in cloud, its surface alive with quiet fire. Beneath its golden haze, mountains of molten stone rise and fall, reshaped by eruptions we may never see. Scientists believe volcanoes still breathe there, their heat trapped beneath an atmosphere thick with memory. Lightning flashes through sulfur skies, and the air burns hotter than any forge. Yet there is beauty in this distant storm, a world forever remaking itself, untouched by oceans or wind. Venus reminds us that fire is not chaos, but continuity. Though we cannot hear its rumble, the planet's surface tells us it still speaks in lava, whispering across the void that creation knows no single home. Farther out, circling Jupiter, lies Io, a moon so restless it never sleeps. Its surface blooms with color, yellows, reds, and whites from sulfur and frost, painted anew by eruptions that never cease. Io's volcanoes are the most active in the solar system, fountains of molten rock reaching hundreds of miles into space. Yet, in this constant renewal, there is strange serenity. Each eruption cools and begins again, erasing the past, starting the cycle once more. From the cold vacuum around it, Io glows like a living coal, defiant and alive. Watching it is like seeing the heart of motion itself, a reminder that even in the farthest places, the language of fire continues to write, endlessly, without rest. On Mars, a mountain rises higher than any on Earth, Olympus Mons, the silent giant. 3 times taller than Everest, it stretches across the red planet like a memory of unimaginable power. Once, rivers of lava flowed down its sides for hundreds of miles, moving so slowly in the thin Martian air that they hardened into waves of stone. Now, it sleeps beneath dust and starlight, its fires long gone, but its grandeur remains. From orbit, it appears calm, ancient, almost gentle, proof that even the mightiest flame can end in still on Mars. A mountain rises vast and serene, Olympus Mons, the quiet monarch of the red planet. Its summit stands higher than 3 Everests stacked together, its slopes so wide they curve with the horizon. Once, it flowed with slow rivers of lava that carved paths across plains now frozen in silence. No wind or water erodes it quickly. The Martian calm preserves its grandeur. Scientists believe it erupted for millions of years, then simply stopped, not destroyed, just finished. Its immensity feels less like violence, more like meditation, a world-sized monument to endurance. In Olympus Mons, we glimpse the universe's patience, fire that has cooled but not forgotten its glow, resting eternally beneath the thin Martian sky. Look up at the moon, and you'll see oceans of shadow, the dark plains called Maria. They are not seas, but frozen lava fields, remnants of eruptions billions of years old. Long ago, when the moon was still warm inside, molten rock spilled from its wounds, filling craters and smoothing scars. Now those flows lie silent, their surfaces silvered by starlight and time. Astronauts have walked upon them, feeling the quiet weight of history underfoot. Every footprint pressed into that basalt is a meeting between 2 fires, human and lunar, living and ancient. The moon's dark plains remind us that even celestial bodies sleep after creation, their hearts cooled, their songs preserved in stone and light. Far beyond Saturn's rings, on its misty moon Titan, volcanoes breathe not fire but ice. Methane and ammonia take the place of lava, flowing in slow, ghostly rivers across frozen plains. These cryovolcanoes blur the boundary between heat and cold, showing that eruption is not always flame. It is movement, creation, release. Beneath Titan's thick orange haze, these icy fountains reshape the surface quietly, like whispers in the dark. Some scientists believe liquid water hides below the crust, warmed by Titan's hidden heart. If so, every eruption there might bring not destruction, but possibility, the promise of life far from the sun. Titan reminds us that even in the coldest corners of the cosmos, warmth finds a way to speak. Across planets and moons, from Venus to Titan, a single rhythm repeats. Pressure, eruption, renewal. Heat rises, meets resistance, and gives birth to form. It is the same story written in infinite variations, a cosmic heartbeat echoing through worlds. Some burn with sulfur and stone, others exhale ice and vapor, yet each follows the same rule. Energy must move, must transform. The universe itself seems to breathe through volcanoes, exhaling creation, inhaling calm. On every world where this happens, a trace of harmony remains, as though the cosmos prefers balance over chaos. To study these patterns is to glimpse the universe's quiet consistency, a truth older than stars. Wherever there is warmth, there is life in waiting. In the universe, nothing truly ends. The fire that erupts from one world may someday cool, break apart, and drift as dust, only to become the seed of another. Volcanoes are the engines of this grand cycle, melting the old and forming the new. Their heat releases minerals, their ash feeds oceans, and their remnants become the raw material for stars. The same elements that once burned in Earth's core now shimmer in galaxies millions of miles away. Creation is not a single event, but a conversation between matter and time. Through volcanoes, the cosmos reuses itself endlessly, proving that every eruption is both an ending and a beginning. The universe breathes through these fires, forever recycling its own light. Every grain of dust, every fragment of cooled stone carries memory. When the remains of ancient worlds drift through space, gravity gathers them again, small sparks finding each other in darkness. Over eons, they form clouds that compress, ignite, and become new stars. The ashes of volcanoes, scattered into the void, may one day burn again in the hearts of suns. It is a cycle of fire reborn, of dust becoming brilliance. The universe is an artist that never wastes its palette. Every cooled ember has a future. To look at the night sky is to see resurrection in progress. Galaxies glittering with the echoes of long-forgotten eruptions, still glowing, still alive. In the endless quiet of space, every world turns in silence. Stars flicker like distant embers. Planets glide through invisible paths, and between them stretches a stillness too vast to measure. Yet even here, warmth lingers, a memory of ancient fire. Space is not emptiness. It is the pause between breaths, the cooling interval between cosmic eruptions. Light travels through it like a whisper that never fades. If you could listen closely enough, you might hear the soft hum of worlds still forming, volcanoes sighing beneath alien skies. In this calm, time feels slower, patient, eternal. The universe seems to rest, but within that stillness lies motion, subtle, constant, and infinitely kind. After wandering through the fires of distant worlds, we return to our own, small, blue, and alive. Earth's volcanoes seem gentler now, their heat familiar, their rhythm comforting. Beneath the oceans, across continents, the same ancient processes continue, quietly renewing the ground beneath us. Our planet's fire is not a threat, but a heartbeat, steady and protective. The air, the soil, the forests, all born from molten beginnings. To look back at Earth from the vastness of space is to see serenity forged by motion, peace shaped by flame. We are not separate from this process. We are its continuation. The journey ends where it began, in warmth, in balance, in home. Even a living planet must rest. Beneath the motion of tides and the slow drift of continents, there is a deeper stillness. The Earth's own sleep. It does not cease to breathe. It simply softens its rhythm, cooling beneath the stars. The mantle's glow dims, the crust sighs, and time itself seems to stretch. In this quiet, the planet remembers its origins, Fire turned to calm, chaos shaped into balance. Mountains hold their breath, oceans settle, and all the noise of creation fades into steady peace. To imagine the earth asleep is to feel its pulse aligned with ours, slow, tender, eternal. In its rest, we find our own, knowing that life continues, even in silence. The warmth within the planet is often mistaken for fury, but it is not rage that fuels the core. It is devotion. Heat is how the earth cares for itself, renewing, mending, reshaping. It is the same warmth that nourishes soil, births islands, and shelters life in the coldest dark. Every eruption, every spark of magma is an act of giving, energy shared, not spent. Fire, in its truest form, is affection expressed as light. The earth does not burn in anger. It glows in love, forever tending to its own being. When we feel the ground's warmth beneath our feet, we touch that kindness, ancient, selfless, and alive in every corner of the world. Within the body of the earth, time moves differently. A stone forms, hardens, and waits. Centuries pass as seconds in its stillness. Layers build quietly, recording history in color and grain. Every mineral is a page, every fossil a whisper. Lava that once rushed in glowing streams now lies unmoving, patient beyond measure. It does not resist the passing years. It welcomes them, letting wind and rain sculpt it gently. In rock, time becomes visible, an art of endurance, not decay. To hold a stone is to cradle the heartbeat of ages, slowed to calm perfection. The earth teaches through it that nothing truly ends. It only settles, learning the peace that comes with staying. Compared to mountains, we are brief, bright flickers in the long rhythm of the earth. Yet in that brevity lies brilliance. Our lives burn with curiosity, creation, and tenderness, each moment an ember in the grand mosaic of time. We build, love, learn, and leave traces, small yet meaningful, woven into the planet's memory. Just as volcanoes shape the ground, we shape experience. And when our fires dim, we return to the same soil that once rose in flame, joining the quiet cycle that never ends. We are the earth in motion, expressed as thought and feeling, sparks of its warmth, returning at last to rest within its eternal glow. When we press our palms to the earth, we touch more than soil. We touch memory. The ground beneath us carries the warmth of every eruption, the patience of every cooled stone. It is the bridge between our small heartbeat and the planet's endless one. To ground ourselves is to remember that we belong to something ancient and kind. The earth steadies our racing thoughts, absorbing worry, giving calm in return. In that exchange, balance is restored, not through words, but through quiet presence. Every mountain, every grain of sand hums with the same rhythm that sustains us. To feel that rhythm is to know peace. In grounding, we do not stand apart from the world, we stand within it. Each breath we take mirrors the earth's own motion, inhaling, exhaling, expanding, releasing. The wind moves through trees as air moves through us, a shared rhythm uniting body and world. Volcanoes breathe in their way too, rising and resting, exhaling warmth from their hidden lungs. When we breathe with awareness, we join this quiet harmony, a reminder that our life is an echo of the planet's. The air we draw once brushed the ocean's surface, once rose from molten vents, once cooled the lava fields that shaped our home. Every inhale carries the story of the world. Every exhale returns gratitude. To breathe with the earth is to live in conversation with its gentlest truth. We are not apart. We are extension. When night falls, the earth exhales its warmth into the open air. The ground cools, rocks release their stored heat, and the wind carries a soft calm across the land. Volcano slopes that once shimmered with fire now glint under moonlight, their edges silver and serene. It is the planet's daily rest, a gentle cycle of release and renewal. The same cooling that soothes the surface soothes us too, a shared sigh between world and being. In the hush of darkness, the earth teaches us how to let go, how to settle into stillness without fear. Night's touch is not an ending, but an embrace, a reminder that even after fire, there is always calm waiting to return. As the world quiets, the rhythm of the planet becomes our lullaby. The faint hum of distant waves, the low murmur of wind through trees, the pulse of earth beneath, all combine into a single sound of reassurance. We close our eyes and feel the steady strength below us, the certainty that the ground will hold, that the world continues gently. Sleep comes easily when trust replaces thought. The same force that moves mountains also keeps us safe in our beds, watching over our rest. The earth does not sleep against us, but with us, its slow breathing wrapping us in peace. In that unity, dreams begin, soft, glowing, and endless as the turning of the world. As we drift into sleep, the mind begins to mirror the earth, still on the surface, glowing within. Dreams unfold like slow-moving lava, shaping landscapes from memory and wonder. In them, mountains breathe, rivers shimmer with hidden fire, and the ground hums with quiet song. These are the planet's dreams shared through us, reminders of our bond with all that endures. In the deep hours of night, time softens, boundaries blur. We are both witness and participant in the calm creation that never ends. Stone and light intertwine, forming visions that comfort and renew. And somewhere between waking and rest, the earth dreams too, through us, through everything it has ever made. At last, the journey quiets. The fires have cooled, the winds have slowed, and the night stretches wide with peace. Above, the stars shimmer, ancient witnesses to every birth and ending. We stand beneath them, grounded and small, yet infinite in connection. The same atoms that burn in those distant lights once moved through magma, through oceans, through us. The story continues, but for now it rests. The earth turns gently beneath our feet, its pulse steady, its warmth eternal. As we close our eyes, we let that rhythm cradle us, fire to breath, stone to dream, silence to comfort. Farewell beneath the stars, where the planet and its children sleep as one. The story ends where it began, in warmth, in silence, in wonder. The earth, our quiet companion in the dark, keeps breathing beneath us. Every stone we touch once burned. Every breeze we feel once rose from fire. Through the patience of magma and the calm of ash, the planet teaches what endurance truly means. We have walked across its glowing veins, listened to its hum beneath the sea, watched it rise into sky and rest in peace again. We have seen that even fire knows how to be gentle, that heat can create, that change can soothe. Volcanoes are not tempests, but teachers. Their rhythm is the rhythm of all things: pressure, release, renewal, rest. As the night deepens, the world turns softly on its axis, carrying us through darkness toward morning. The crust below cools, the oceans settle, and the pulse of the core keeps time for everything alive. Above, the stars look down, not as distant fires, but as reflections of the one burning quietly within our world. In this stillness, we understand the earth does not roar, it whispers. It hums in frequencies that comfort, in movements too slow to fear. And as we listen, our breath falls in tune with its own, slow and endless. The warmth that forged continents still glows inside us, reminding us that we belong not to the surface, but to the story beneath. Now, let go. Feel the ground steady beneath your body, the quiet air above your face. The world is safe. The earth is at peace. And somewhere in that peace, as the last ember fades, the planet sighs, a lullaby of stone, of fire, of eternal calm.